is a special edition of For the Clarity and Closure of the Viewer's Comments. And this has to do with someone named Zach Attack 4313. In comments they left on my Audit 16 Cult Follower Catastrophe video. You can read the comments for yourself, as you can see here. They're on my YouTube channel. I'm going to address what this individual is saying, who is not, by the way, using their correct name. And also, as you're going to see, I invited them onto a live stream, which they accepted, and said they were going to, basically said or implied they were going to be there, and or that they were going to contact me via email. So since they didn't show up to the live stream, which I was live for like 45 minutes, and I told them when I was going to go live, and they didn't show up, hopefully they'll contact me via email to see if they are serious about what it is they want to know about. So as you can see here, in the beginning we see some quantum gobbledygook, which if you did catch the live stream, and it is public, I do a full audit of that gobbledygook right there. So I'm not going to address that right now, other than the fact that it's not correct sentence structure. And it gives us a good gauge as to this individual's grammar knowledge, which is very important in the context of what they're going to be asking. Now keep in mind, they know my full correct name. They know what I look like. My position is very clear. I'm a correct sentence structure, communication, PARSE, syntax, grammar tutor. I've been teaching for 9 years, since February of 2018. I have over 1,000 free videos on this channel as a continuance of the evidence to my full closure on this grammar technology, and by extension, how the 1x1.9 Title IV grammar flag works, which I have many videos explaining authority, how one uses the flag, how one would be authorized to use the flag in the context of having closure on this grammar. Okay? Because authority means author. You see the word author is in the word authority. So if you authorize something, it means that you are the author of it. Or you authorize someone else to be an authority. But that's an entirely different topic. This is about correct sentence structure, communication, PARSE, syntax, grammar, or in short, correct grammar. So this individual commented on that audit video, and they are saying, okay, look, it says colon space note, of the note with the pen, square, bracket, and endangling participle colon. I am here for the sole reason that I hold evidence and or first-hand knowledge in conflict with the closing statements of this channel's host. I'm not here for DYCK measuring contests of any sort, so I do not care who's filing what where, nor your spin on punctuation, structure, and opinions. There's no spin. It is what it is. It's pure correct grammar. First, this channel and host are on a public pirate list. Okay. Yes, I've been aware that people have put me on pirate lists or disqualification lists. Folks that don't have, curiously enough, closure on this grammar. Folks like Russell J. Gould, folks like Mark lowercase k Kishon Christopher, folks like Jason Paul Grievous, folks like that. I mean, that's up to them. They can put me on whatever the list they want, and it's up to you as to who you believe. Whether you believe in learning correct grammar so that you know for yourself, or whether you believe someone yapping with no proof. I lack first-hand knowledge. There you go. I said it, you confirmed it. You don't have any first-hand knowledge. So are you willing to explain why? Well, Zach Attack, it's not my position to explain someone else's claim. If someone has put me on a pirate list, you'd have to ask them. As I've said in the past, I use correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar. I have for 9 years. I teach it. So I'm not sure what, what's pirate-like about that. I'm not sure. I'm just helping people to learn how to use correct grammar and be autonomous rather than be beholden or under the thumb or yoke of some other authority. That's fiction system stuff. I teach autonomy. Dave surrendered his position in Grand Rapids, Michigan federal courthouse in 2007. There is no validity in authorizations granted by Dave. Ask Lionel. Okay, now that's an interesting thing right there. They put a laughing, crying, laughing face after that. I think they're referring to Leighton Lionel Ward, who is in prison right now because, well, one of the main reasons is paper terrorism, what they call paper terrorism. Okay? And the fact that this individual is laughing about it is very interesting and gives me a clue as to the caliber of their character, which is very prevalent in the Russell J. Gould cult follower types. Now, I'm not saying this individual is a cult follower because they carry themselves with a lot more honor and grace than most of the followers that I run into. So it seems as though they may actually, honestly, genuinely have questions about this and be open to what I'm saying. But then it could be an act too. I don't know, because they won't tell me who they are or anything like that. So it's all subterfuge at this point. So let's look at this. Dave surrendered his position in Grand Rapids, Michigan. How do you know that, Zach Attack? Did someone tell you that? Did you see video footage of this? Is there proof of this? Or are you just, again, hearing someone yapping and you hear a second-hand or third-hand account of what happened? I have no proof that that happened. And actually, Zach Attack, in 2007, if that is so, if David-WYNN Miller surrendered his position, how do you explain all of the directors' parties and seminars that Dave did with Russell J. Gould at his side, like a good little student or assistant? Russell never said one word about that. Right up until Directors Party 2016? Russell was standing right there in the same room with David-WYNN Miller, never said one word about David betraying anyone or surrendering a flag or Leighton Lionel Ward not having an authorization to be a federal postal clerk, which, by the way, if you look at the contracts, I'm pretty sure Russell's name is on the contract along with David-WYNN Miller's name and Leighton's name to certify that Leighton was their federal postal court clerk. So what about that? Now suddenly after David passes away, suddenly everything changes now. All of a sudden, Dave surrendered his flag in 2007. Well, why didn't we find out about that beforehand? If Russell is this, whatever, the chief or whatever it is that people think he is, why wouldn't he have come forward then? Why did he wait 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Why did he wait 10 years? That's a question. You could ask Russell that question if you want to. The flag and grammar are in fact copyright copy claim. Actually, because it is correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar, as I've said this over and over again, people on this channel are probably tired of hearing me say it. If you are going to claim a copyright copy claim over a correct grammar flag and a correct grammar technology, then you better have closure on it. you better have a correct sentence structure contract available. I've seen the contracts. It's written in quantum gobbledygook. I can show you that there is no mathematical interface on those documents, that it's adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, fiction, babble. I have shown that in my audit videos of these documents. Not only Russell's live life claim that he shows on the internet, but the tone setters document, the media command letter, and I'm pretty sure the copyright copy claim for the corporate structure. I've also done a little bit of audit on that. So there is no copyright copy claim on the correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar. There is no correct grammar claim on that flag. There may be a fiction babble claim on it, but that's the fiction. That has nothing to do with me, bro. I navigate in the fact, not the fiction. That's why I can use the flag and nothing, I'm completely successful with using the flag. I don't run into any problems at all with it, using that flag. Since 2017, I have never run into one issue with using that flag. Never, never, never. Technically, you're safe because this is not Chief's flag on your page. Safe from what exactly? What danger would I happen to be in? Like what would happen? I don't understand that. But there is a suspicious likeness. Will you speak on whether this is intended to be misleading and what other possible reason for that? My volition is to teach correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, and the flag that I use is the 1 by 1.9 correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar flag. Title 4. That's what I use. I also have a constitution for that flag. Now, that flag is not my flag. I do not claim ownership of it. I'm a steward of it. I use it. How am I able to use that flag? Because as Russell has said and David have said in the past multiple times, authority comes from knowledge. If you know what it is you're doing, you can do it. When those two guys walked into courtrooms and challenged the fiction system, who authorized them to do that? What authority did they do that under? Their own, because they felt they knew what they were doing, that they had the knowledge. Why can't you or I do that? Why do we have to get someone else's thumbprint to say, yeah, you can go do that. You go do what you want to do. So you can be free and be autonomous as long as somebody holds out their ring, you bend down, you kiss it, and kiss their ass while you're at it. Then they can authorize you to be free. Oh, cool. No, thank you. That's a whole fiction system BS scam as far as I'm concerned. So my volition is to help people, teach people to be autonomous, show them how to get correct closure on the correct grammar and how to use the flag safely, like I do. Russell J. is the Commander-in-Chief, Muster Master and Director with the United States Navy, holding a lease to the flag. Okay. How do you know that? Where's your proof of that? Because as far as I know, the United States Navy, United is past tense. That's an adjective pronoun. That's fiction. That's in the fiction system. So, that's fine. If they, in the fiction, recognize Russell as a Commander-in-Chief, Muster Master, and Director, cool. But I see no proof of that. I can't open up a newspaper or Google and see any proof of that at all in the fiction. Nor do I see any proof of it in correct sentence structure using correct grammar. So I call bullshit on that. Where's your proof? The Navy is also the only military militia guard, GAURD, showcasing the flag in any capacity, notably the first page on the public-facing website. Military and government publications substantiate this in multiple locations. Yeah, but that's fiction. That's adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, fiction, babble. There's no correct sentence structure on those pages that you're talking about. So what is your point? What does that have to do with me or correct grammar and what I do here? Nothing. As such, of course, Chief has control of the rogue war theater belligerents in the current martial law condition of state. Really? So if Chief has control of the rogue war theater, then wow, there's a lot of murdering going on out there with these rogues, isn't there? So either he has no control over anything, or what he says isn't true. He grants zero authorization for participation in war. Really? Then why does he use a spire on top of his flag? Which negates the constitution of the flag, by the way. If he grants zero authorization for participation in war, why does he use a spire on the top of his flag as a finale? If this closure is new information, please correct the error. That is not closure. It's fiction babble bullshit that there's no proof of, and contradictions around every corner. Zack attack. Autographing out. Autographing what? There is no autographing. You're hiding behind a nom de guerre. So now, my response to that, my Kuliana, is, sounds like you're regurgitating tall tales that you've heard repeated and have no proof of other than Chief said so, which I've said. And you also said you don't have any first-hand knowledge of it. So you back up what I say. Your opening attempt at correct sentence structure is beginner at best with incorrect positional sequencing. If you'd like to study grammar, blah, 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 you guys are sick of me saying that. If you're serious about learning correct sentence structure, which I'm guessing you aren't, which they clearly show that they're not interested in the grammar. They're interested in something else. I'm not sure what, because if we're talking about a flag here, a grammar flag, isn't the grammar the most important thing if it is a grammar flag? I dare say. Cool story, bro. Keep guessing. I simply asked you to explain or correct false claims. I never ask people questions I don't know the answer to or assert claims I cannot prove. Maury Povich has determined that to be a lie. Glow in the dark. Okay, I'm being cheeky. Not necessarily a lie. Just that they clearly don't have closure on the grammar. They clearly admit that they have no first-hand knowledge. You read it yourself. Their words, they said it. Zack attack said they don't have any first-hand knowledge. That's why they're asking me these questions. But yet they say I don't know the answer to or assert claims I cannot prove. I never ask people questions I don't know the answer to or assert claims I cannot prove. You haven't proved shit, Zack attack. All you've proved is that you've heard the same yapping out of these mouths that I've heard with no proof. For example, Russell J. Gould talking about all these things about judges running out of courtrooms and that they recorded these things, right? On video. If he's the commander-in-chief, why doesn't he command them to release the video? Just one video. Just one. So we can all see this happen. But no, can't do it. Why? I told you why. Either it didn't happen, or he doesn't have that type of authority or power. Which, when it comes to authoritarianism, which is what Russell J. Gould's construct is actually, it's chain of command authoritarianism. When it comes to that, it's sort of a trickle-down thing. You kind of get this hero mentality. Well, this guy's a hero. You believe what he says no matter what. It's called protagonist-centered morality. No matter what the individual does, they can do no wrong. You're going to back him up no matter what because he's the greatest, he's the best hope we have. I prefer to take another route and encourage folks to think for themselves, be autonomous, and take accountability for themselves rather than fall under the yoke of someone else. So then I asked if I did a consultation with them back on July 18th, 2020, because I did do a consultation with someone named Zach. The only individual named Zach that I've ever done a consultation with, I did back on July 18th, 2020. And they said that the grammar comes last. There was a very young kid, which I thought might be this kid, might be this guy, but he says it's not, so... Oh, and I said, if you feel frisky, show up at my live stream tomorrow. You won't. And then I said, yet you cannot prove anything you say, much less mathematically certify your valiant attempt at quantum grammar, specifically quote the false claim I've made. Yeah, what false claim have I made? They didn't say. They didn't specifically say a false claim that I made. Because you have not mentioned anything specifically, you people never do. You just parrot what you hear your heroes say. So now Zack Attack says, never spoke or consulted with you one time ever. See, I have nothing to prove. Really? That's interesting because you certainly are investing a lot of energy in these comments on my channel for someone who's not interested in grammar or anything else. So then why are you here? Why is this important to you? I'm unclear why I would need to. Honestly, if you can't address the queries but try to throw shade projection, you are not in my league. Ooh. Okay. To say that I won't in some sort of low-key clearly shows you have no idea whom you are engaging. I will consider your offer. To say that I won't in some sort of low-key jeer. So I said, you're correct. I don't know with whom I am engaging because you don't use your correct name nor take authority over your words. And for whatever reason, you seem to assume that I know what it is you are asking. Simplify it for me, for my simple intellect, as I may not be in your league. If you want clear communication, reach out to me at jasonmatthewg17@gmail.com, and I'll set up a 10 to 15 minute confidential consultation. I will answer any questions you have, grammar or other as related. So I'm offering this to this individual because they're sort of teetering on the edge. I can tell that they're ensconced in the Russell J. Gould gobbledygook, but at the same time they have questions that they may genuinely want the answers to. And I know that if we could at least have a video communication where we're looking at each other face to face and we use our correct names and we hop up on the geometric level playing field of contract communication, I am 100% certain that I can give this individual closure on what I'm talking about. 100% sure. Zack Attack says, I didn't come for a grammar lesson, nor do I give them. I did not ask a single thing about you filings and did not solicit closure of mine. I came in peace. I don't know about that. I don't know if I believe that, but nevertheless, I am also immune to gaslighting. See, gaslighting is a term that the kids use these days that I'm not even really sure what that means. I'm really not. So if I'm doing it, I'm unaware of it, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not. If it's a negative thing. You are skirting some very direct questions that are surrounding the parameters were clear. No, that wasn't clear to me. I mean, you're assuming that it was clear to me, but as you may be out of my league, your intellect may be so far beyond me that you might have to simplify it. You might have to dumb it down a little bit there, Zack Attack, for someone like me, a simpleton, perhaps, like me. So if you can't do that, if you can't explain what you mean to a 5-year-old, then that means you don't know what you mean, which is the point I'm getting at. Want me on your show? What show would that be? We can discuss privately, but answer at least one question, then show me a valid claim of life and you're on. Anything less is you lacking authenticity. That's the biggest bunch of fuckery that I've read so far in these comments. Here's a guy or girl that will not use their correct name, but they're saying, I lack authenticity. I use my full correct punctuated live life claim name. Been using it for 9 years. I've made videos about the claim of the live life. You know what I look like. You know what my name is. And here's someone using a nom de guerre, speaking an adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, fiction, babble, saying that I'm lacking authenticity if I don't do what they say. I respond, you are a guest here. Have you read the terms and conditions before posting? I've been in this correct sentence structure domain since 2017, been teaching it since 2018. I have numerous videos regarding the correct claim of the live life with 3 or more witnesses. If you want to learn about that, I will address your comments in detail in a future video, this one. I don't take anyone seriously who doesn't share their full correct live life claim name. Anyone who doesn't take authority over their communication can't expect others to treat them fairly when they themselves are not on the level. Zach Attack says, fair. I will have 0 grammatical queries and will not be giving any grammar lessons. You are correct about my identity because I have serenity in solitude, i.e. hiding by choice. My services are gatekept by strict terms of credentialing. Not sure what services those would be. Sounds pretty shady. While cloaking by choice, I left a trademark of sorts many can correlate. Who's the many? What many would that be? Correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar is about communicating with clarity. Not trying to confuse anyone, to establish a geometric level playing field of communication. That anyone can come up and play fair. But when you do shit like this, you're unleveling the field to give yourself an advantage because you're hiding. You're not revealing or taking accountability for yourself. So, the types of people that would correlate with that, those are types of people I don't want to contract with, and they can stay over there in the shadows. We will start with the flag, could be the perfect live content. I've done the flag too many times to count. Just go to my YouTube channel, the homepage, type in the search bar flag, and you will see many, many, many videos about the flag. As for some sauce, how about Dave's flag surrender? Does that qualify for a preponderance of the evidence somewhat higher than regurgitated repeating? What flag surrender are you talking about? I've only heard Russell J. Gould talk about that story. I've never seen any proof of that. And if that happened in 2007, then why did Russell not mention it until after David died? 10 years or more. If you're a logical, critical thinking individual, that's the question I'd be asking. Never mind that none of Russell's documents are actually mathematically certified forwards and backwards. That could be awkward to walk back, bro, especially live. It's bedtime, I'll be in touch. Nobody's going to be walking back anything, Zach Attack. If I'm wrong about something, if you can show me proof, certifiable, tangible proof of what you're saying, that I'm wrong, I have no problems with stopping and correcting with humility, publicly. I've done it countless times because everybody makes mistakes. It's not a big deal. Those folks over there make it such a big deal. Ooh, we're going to throw someone into prison and do a military tribunal because they're using grammar. Bro. If that's what you throw people in prison for, I mean, holy cow. For using incorrect grammar or using correct grammar for that matter, you're not going to have any room for the rapists and pedophiles and murderers. Someone's got to get their priorities straight. For the last comment here, I have to go here because, as you can see in the last screen, it didn't show the whole comment. So this was my last Kuleana 11 hours ago to Zach Attack. I said, your questions center around a correct grammar flag, yet you've no closure on correct grammar? Interesting. In any case, fair enough. I will be going live hopefully 7 or 8 hours from now. I will definitely be making a video addressing your comments, one way or the other. I prefer a geometric field and level plane for communication, but I offer grace in your reluctance to participate with such conditions. The fiction runs away from it all the time. So in closing, everything that I've said in this video, I've said in other videos ad nauseum. My regular viewers know this. This is for the benefit of the new viewers, of which Zack Attack may be one of them. Now this may cause some cognitive dissonance in this individual. Be that as it may, this channel is about grammar, correct grammar, autonomy, and taking accountability and authority over one's words. And I show people how to do that by this wonderful technology brought to the public in 1988 by DAVID-WYNN Miller. When people like this come on and say that they're not interested in the grammar, and they obviously, even though they say they're not interested in the grammar, they start off their comment doing their best effort and using quantum gobbledygook, even though they say they're not interested in the grammar, or they don't want to talk about the grammar, they don't want to learn the grammar. So this individual is not interested in learning correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar. But yet they're interested in a correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar flag. Which, from my cognition and what I've seen, the flag I use is a grammar flag. The flag that Russell J. Gould uses and claims ownership of is a performance flag. The flag that I use and am a steward of, I in no way own it. It is not my flag. I do not possess it. However, I possess authority to use it because I have closure into grammar. It's the 1x1.9 Title IV flag, correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar. Now, it's my cognition, my understanding that Russell J. Gould uses a 1x1.9 correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar, performance flag. Two totally different things. And that happened after David-WYNN Miller passed away. What I'm using is before that. And since everything takes place in the now space, in the continuum, there's room for everybody. So all my contracts are correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar, with correct postal mechanics, flag mechanics, banking mechanics, and grammar mechanics. There's one of those mechanics that Russell J. Gould cannot claim, because I can take any one of his documents that Zack Attack or anyone else puts in front of me and show them with patience and honor and grace where the mistakes are and how to fix the mistakes and why they're mistakes. I can do this. I make no other claims. I make no other statements about this other than this is about the grammar. This channel is about the grammar. So Zack Attack, if you're not here about the grammar, why are you here? What's the point? Please read the community guidelines and terms and conditions next time before commenting. And I really wish you would have shown up to the live stream. That would have been fun. But we had a fun live stream anyways because we did syntax your quantum gobbledygook adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, fiction, babble there, which I hope you check out, and I hope you learn something from it. And I hope you do contact me at my email address, and I hope we can have a conversation on a geometric level playing field of confidential communication. Que sera, sera.